Captain Zorikh, reporting from the 3rd New York City Submission Shootout. My participation was sponsored by the Big Apple Convention coming up on October 16th through 18th.
Now, I had just fought one bout, a full 6 minutes with no decision, and I felt pretty good about that. If you haven't seen that bout, go back to the channel, watch it, then come on back. I'll wait. Okay, we're back.
The next guy, however, I was totally wiped. Took me down, isolated the arm submission, just like my second bout in the previous submission shootout that I had banned. Yes. Next two fighters took a little bit more work. The toughest, meanest looking guy in my bracket. I knew he was stronger, faster, more aggressive, more skilled, and had been training more recently. So I figured I was just going to slow down the fight, and it actually worked. I was able to deny, and keep him from getting anything explosive going on me.
But avoiding the explosive is no way to win if he can just wear you down gradually. He was able to put his body on me, threaten the guillotine again. I kept my hand inside, so he spun around and tried to take my back. I was in the happy turtle place. He actually manages to get an attempt at a rear naked choke. I was able to keep my legs up. His arms were in front of my face, not my neck, so I was able to spin out of it and almost get into a top position, but he was able to sweep very easily and get into the mount. From there, he simply put his hand on my neck in what he calls the rape choke. And as the funky oriental designs slowly encroached, swarming into my field of vision, I tapped out before I passed out. Barely.
The final guy missed the initial call for the bout.
So the first thing I did was I called for challengers. It's supposed to be a 6-minute match, so I said I would take on any challenger for 30 seconds or a submission. I would take 12 of them, just so that nobody thought that I was just resting. Nobody took my challenge, so I started tap dancing. Did a little time step, double time step. Shuffle off to Buffalo here, just like I'm sure William the Marshal did at that tournament where he danced to entertain the crowd while waiting for the next joust to begin. A little spinning move and a hip-hop ending.
And they actually did call my victory by forfeit because the guy didn't show up. But then the guy showed up and I figured I didn't want a cheap victory that way.
So he came at me and instantly grabbed my wrists. He had a grip that I knew I wasn't going to break. Then he jumped on top of my neck and pulled me down. Again with the attempted guillotine. Again with me denying the guillotine with the hands on the wrist. Looking for an opening. Trying to drive forward. Trying to keep from getting put on my back. Wonder if I have a chance to let go of his arm and grab his leg. He ultimately wedges me over, as opposed to wedgies me over, but actually from there, I was in a less bad position because he doesn't have the guillotine choke from that position. Tries to go to a side mount. He goes for the north-south. I spin around. He tries to go to a full mount, but actually steps right into my guard. And then the next thing I know, hey, look, an arm. Let's get that leg in front of his face. Go for an arm bar here. Go for a Google Plata. Go for something. But he passes it. And falls right into my guard again. So from here, I'm trying to walk up the guard. See, I got a pretty good guard. Those feet of mine, those legs of mine, they lock tight and they don't give up. But he kept on pulling out and pushing down, so I kept on pulling up and he kept on slamming down on my face.
You know, where his forearm would get on my teeth and my throat and whatnot.
So I kept on walking my legs up into the guard, and he kept on pushing his forearm onto my neck and my face. Try to squeeze his body like a leg scissors again. Try to push his arm off of my face. Wasn't quite working. He'd reset. Try to do something else. I put my forearm on his neck. He wasn't really a good fan of that and was able to push my arm out of the way pretty easy. Now here you see he's trying to pass the guard, push my arms out of the way, but I wasn't having none of it. I was keeping my arms tight, and I was keeping my feet locked so he wasn't getting out of my guard, but he kept on slamming down with that forearm on my neck. So I tried pushing him away with my legs, and then the referee stopped the match so that he could pull his pants back up. Gotta love it. So we restarted him, bam, there he goes with that forearm on the neck again. I tried to isolate the arm, maybe tried to fight for a guillotine, but there he goes with that forearm on the neck again. Wham! Ow! That time it really hurt, and I looked at I was thinking, you know, this is kind of like an impact move getting to be at this point. Defend, protect, deny. Now he tries to isolate the arm. Defend, protect, deny. Grabs the wrist, tries to bend my wrist over his forearm. Defend, protect, deny. And look, here's a chance to put a leg in front of his face, maybe. But no, he's able to pull his arm out, past my guard, falls right into a side mount, a really tough side mount. Again, trying to isolate the arm. And again, there's that forearm into the face, and I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't see. I couldn't do anything except tap out.
Okay, again, Captain Zorikh from the New York City Submission Shootout. Come to the Big Apple Convention, October 16th through 18th at Pier 94 on West 55th Street and 12th Avenue. Signing off. Cut.